So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are joining us from today. As we celebrate the World Education Week, we celebrate the teachers, the students, the sponsors, the parents, and all that make education possible, even as we emerge stronger and better from the ravages of the pandemic. My name is Kennedy Miruka, and I am your host today. I am the Alumni Relations Manager at Future First Kenya and the project lead for the Association of Alumni Communities in Kenya. I am also the founder of AlumniPad, which is an association management and membership engagement platform that helps you to connect with the alumni across the globe. I have worked in the alumni engagement space for a couple of years, and I currently consult for a number of alumni associations in the country. Our panelists will provide insights, knowledge on how your alumni can be mobilized as a resource base for providing relatable role models, mentorship, career guidance, and sponsorship to students in your schools. We have developed expertise around alumni engagement and support schools and associations in establishing alumni associations. We are very keen to share with you our insights and knowledge in alumni engagement and how you can enable this to benefit you. I will start by introducing our panelists today, but before I do that, please feel free to keep tweeting using the hashtag WorldEduWeek. Our Q&A is also open, so please put your questions there and we will answer them as we go along. Our first panelist is called Frederick. Frederick is an innovator, an ICT specialist. He's the operations lead at Wangle Global and Kikao.org. He has had a lot of startups. He's got a lot of groundbreaking experience and innovation in security, medicine, aviation, and even sociology. Frederick is an alumni of Ukuru Primary and also a board member of the Association of Alumni Communities in Kenya. Frederick, welcome and share with us your insights.
Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for allowing me to share with you how alumni communities as agents of development and are helping people like me here in Africa and a lot of people across the globe. So as introduced, my name is Frederick Omondi Okello, and I am in technology. I'm a self-taught developer as well as systems analyst for various systems that I've built for my companies. And I'm also an alumni from two institutions, which or three institutions rather, which I believe shaped my perspective in terms of wanting to help others, wanting myself to actually be an agent of developing others as an alumni of those institutions. So a brief background about me. So how I got involved in alumni activities. So I went in primary school. I went to Uhuru Primary, which is a primary school, a government primary school based here in Nairobi, Kenya. I also went to Uhuru Secondary School, which shares the name with the primary school that I went to. And fortunately, I got to go to university to study computer science and math. But unfortunately, I didn't get to finish my university studies due to financial constraints here and there. That notwithstanding, I take a lot of pride in wanting to mention the institutions that actually got me to where I am as of this particular moment. So my strongest interaction with an alumni association was through my former high school, which is Uhuru Secondary School. And we got to engage past students as well as current students in trying to better their lives aside from whatever life has dealt each and every one of us or the circumstances that we are in. So I take this honor to introduce you to Uhuru Secondary School and vis-a-vis Uhuru Secondary School Alumni Association, of which I'm the chairperson. So under Uhuru Secondary School Alumni Association, we have three modes of approaches that we have concentrated on for the past 3 or 4 years. It took a lot of time for us to be able to amalgamate or gather each and every student from each and every graduating year. So over the last 4 years is when we actually got our solid strategic plan as well as our organizational structure. And we have various or three modes of approach to this association, like within this association. So one of them is the organizational approach, whereby we approach each and every problem that involves the alumni association as a single unit. So if there needs to be a school fundraising drive to raise funds for less fortunate students or students that come from humble backgrounds who cannot afford the tuition fees that are involved within the school. So we move as one. There's no one single representative within the association. It's a consensus type of management. The milestones that we have been able to achieve over the last 4 years are immense. Indeed, we were pivotal in moving forward to actually get the first Nairobi secondary school post-independence to actually get a title deed. So we were involved very much in getting the title deed for the school as a result of people wanting to encroach on school land. And that was a big milestone for us. We raised funds for lawyers. We got student alumni, past alumni who actually became lawyers and helped with the acquisition of the land or with the acquisition of the title or with the acquisition of the title from government. Aside from that, in terms of future projects, as I said, my forte is mainly technology, and the association has enable me to actually try and push forth whatever solution I can come up with. For example, we are doing a digital e-library that we are hoping can be expanded all across Nairobi and all across Kenya. So the digital e-library will be available both on mobile, on web, but also we want to make learning easier for all students. So we are trying to also introduce a feature whereby it can be available on smart televisions, which are basically very much a lot within our homes. So that is a brief case study on how we are trying to impact both our alumni agents, developing other alumni agents for future and for now. In terms of the main agenda for this year, which is how as agents we can be able to develop others. So how we do it is, please pan to the next slide. So how we take action in this is that we are focused on alumni involvement and commitment to Uhuru Secondary School. So we have consistent and reliable connections in that we consistently go back to the school and try and find out, okay, which is this year's problem? Which problem can we actually solve? Can we gather together and try and solve as alumni of these institutions, as well as which other opportunities are available? For example, we've been able to manage and make sure that during the recruitment process for Form 1 secondary school students at Uhuru Secondary School, we make sure that 40% of those students actually come from within the community or within the surroundings of the school. So that improves the readability and the know-how and the education status within the community as well as within students. The second action point is financial support for the Alumni Association. So we have been able to gather funds to be able to do certain things. For example, we have been able to gather funds in the last 2.5 to 3 years to start building a new school block, which has helped the school grow immensely and has improved the performance on a national scale of the particular institution. Aside from that, so we're trying to revamp the public image of the institution. So not very many people are conversant with Uhuru Secondary School. It's a school very well hidden within the heart of Eastlands here in Nairobi, and not very many people are conversant with it, or those who are conversant with it initially had a bad initially saw that it had a bad image, so it was hard for them to actually take their students. But as of now, recruitment has grown over 300% as of our last interaction with the principal of the school, and we are able to encourage more and more parents to actually have faith in our institution and in the newly branded, newly refurbished, newly managed and well-coordinated institution that is Uhuru Secondary School. Aside from that, we try as an alumni association to strengthen connections between alumni. For example, we have monthly and quarterly gatherings whereby we just come and interact with former students and try and find out what they do and try and see whether both ideas we can actually complement each and every one of us. We can actually work together, we can do businesses together, and we can actually grow as students from the same crop of institutions. So aside from those actions, I guess my take on building agents of change is that we need more alumni associations, we need more institutions, not necessarily within Kenya, but within the whole world, to actually try and go back to their institutions and try and help those institutional communities. The base part of the education system is to avail knowledge to various communities, and that is essentially what we are trying to achieve. I know it sometimes may seem far-fetched that there are certain institutions which find it easy and find it hard, and indeed circumstances are not the same globally, but we try as much as we can to share knowledge. Again, through the World Education Week, as well as through the Association of Alumni Communities here in Kenya, where you can reach us and we can share ideas. We can have forums like this in future and share ideas about our unique opportunity to uplift our communities and our countries and our institutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would say very much I want to thank you for this opportunity to allow Uhuru Secondary School, but Alumni Association, but also to allow myself to represent Kenya and the world on this particular fateful day. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts from Nairobi, Kenya. We thank you and God bless. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Frederick, for the very pertinent points. I have heard you mention about alumni securing the school property and school estates. I've heard you talk about recruitment, involvement of parents, strengthening connections between alumni and students. And I've heard you talk about a cry to, have people re-engage with their alma mater and support the alma mater. Those are really pertinent things, and thank you for sharing those with us. It's my pleasure now to introduce to you our next speaker, Sheila Mugadi Munyiri. Sheila Mugadi Munyiri is synonymous with the word festival. She is a festival planner. She plans big events, weddings, parties, corporate events, and that's what she does even in her alma mater. So Sheila is the founder and proprietor of Jamboree Event Planners, which is a leading organizing and management agency for events. She's also a very brilliant innovator. And besides engagement in events, Sheila is an accomplished Australian registered nurse. She's specialized in dementia and also in mental health. She has a passion for improving the health and well-being of her community and of the underserved communities. And she's also very passionate about girl-child education. Sheila has actually initiated a mentorship program at Pangani Girls High School, which is her alma mater. The school is the most sought after high school in Kenya, and she has spearheaded the mentoring program, and she has also served as a committee member in the Alumni Association. Currently, she's the vice chairperson of Pangani Girls Alumni Association, and also a member of the Association of Alumni Communities Kenya, where she serves in the board. Sheila is going to talk to us about her experience and give us insights on how the mentorship and alumni engagement has happened and how you can replicate that in your own schools. Karibu sana, Sheila.
Thank you, Kennedy, and the team for facilitating and inviting me to talk to you and the world about my alma mater. Okay, I'll repeat, sorry. Thank you, Kennedy, and the team for facilitating and inviting me to talk to you about my alma mater and all the programs that we run there. I won't repeat my profile. I think you did a good job there, so thank you. In order for us to understand Pangani Girls School, I'll give a brief background. So Pangani Girls School High School is in Nairobi, Kenya, and it is a girls-only boarding national school. So from 1932 to 2011, most students chosen were mainly from Nairobi County. And at the time, that was called a provincial school. The school then attained the national school status in 2012 which is based on merit. So in Kenya, the Ministry of Education selects students to national schools from all counties in Kenya, all counties all over Kenya. Their main criteria is that the student has a top academic performance. So why did we form the Alumni Association? Our Alumni Association was formed and registered in 2015 after we identified that those from remote and impoverished areas in Kenya were unable to afford school fees, transport, and even basic needs, including sanitary towels, to accept their admission to the school. We then commenced various programs according to the needs expressed by the girls and the teachers. The programs are run by volunteers in collaboration with the principal, the administration, heads of department, teachers, and parents. The association also seeks to build business networks, training, and employment opportunities to empower and uplift members through the welfare program formed in 2019. So our association has 6 main programs. So we have the education sponsorship, which includes sponsoring the girls' school fees throughout their 4 years. Within there, we also ensure that they are able to leave their remote areas and get to the school and back. Also the mentoring program, the personal welfare, wellness and care programs, which are the 2 I'll talk about next. And then we also do extracurricular support. So we support the school in areas of sports and the clubs. We also have a basic needs program whereby we purchase sanitary towels, uniforms, anything that the girls may need and are not able to afford. And then we also have the recently formed alumni welfare program, whereby we look after the alumni of the school. So if you would like to see some more, the website is there. So as Kennedy mentioned, I am the one who pioneered the mentorship and wellness program. So this program was actually a suggestion from one of the teachers who said that it's good that we are sponsoring the girls. However, it would be good to also work with them throughout so that even they can gather coping skills beyond the school. So one area that we do, we specifically mentor the girls we sponsor. There are some organizations that sponsor outside Pangani Girls Alumni and request us to also mentor their girls, and we are open to do that according to availability of mentors. So this is done on a one-on-one basis, and we ensure that policies are in place to ensure the confidentiality of the girls. So we also support the school's guidance and counseling department. So the school does all the vetting, as this is a very serious and confidential department. So they do all the vetting, and then we do vetting on our end and we support them. So we also do career talks whereby different universities come and talk to the girls so that they understand that beyond what they thought about a certain career, there's also other things that they may not know about. So even the alumni of the school come, and also they bring some friends who are specialized in specific careers. The girls then have a chance to talk to the ladies at the time, or even gents, and then after that they are able to communicate with them even beyond the school. So our basic needs, as I mentioned earlier, it's provision of all the needs the girls may need. And then the learning development sessions is where we have experienced staff from even different universities, but who are also alumni, who go to Pangani Girls School, and they talk to the girls about their learning styles. They actually specifically focus on anyone who finds that they are not able to study, and they try to get to the core of the issue and then teach them studying skills. We also have a peer group leaders training where it was facilitated by one of our alumni. So this is where we feel that because we are not always at the school, they've trained some girls at the school to be able to tackle even the issues and to follow up with the teachers if there's any need. We also have individual pep talks where we've had the teachers call us and they say that their specific class have a certain issue, and is there somebody in that area that you're able to bring? So those are more like specific and directed to the need. We have now the group workshops. So these tackle actual issues faced by the youth today. So with the consideration for the demographics at our school. So the topics that are chosen there and are listed are actually topics that the different teachers have come and expressed their need, and they've got all the concerns from their students. So they've come to us and they've told us if we could bring specialized people in these areas. So this is HIV and stigmatization, bullying, addiction, self-esteem issues, reproductive health, mental health issues, depression, suicide, resilience, social media and social media bullying, etiquette, and personal hygiene. So the benefits that we found generally for the association and also specifically for the mentoring is that we find that the alumni who have networks are able to connect us to scholarship opportunities beyond high school, of which, if these people come from impoverished areas, they don't usually have access to the networks that the girls who have been out of school for a while may have. So we also have career talks. So I've mentioned about the alumni, friends of the alumni, universities and other tertiary educational institutions. So the hockey team also improved after revival by an alumni who used to play hockey in her days. And then we've also received feedback from the teachers and the parents that they've seen noticeable improvements in the studying styles of the students, and consequently, this has improved their grades. We have also seen improvement in social interaction. The girls are getting more greater self-esteem, and their confidence to pursue their goals seems to have been heightened. So in all this, we are creating a holistic coping skill mechanism, which includes spiritual, financial, social, and psychological needs. We are also trying to nurture the girls so that they can attain leadership skills. So having said that, we have faced some challenges. So the main challenge would be raising funds. So the mentoring department specifically is the funds would be used to train new mentors, facilitation, tools, and even the attendance and organizing the mentoring sessions. We also have had time constraints at the school due to a compact curriculum after the COVID-19 pandemic. So that has been a challenge as the girls are now trying to play catch up, and so extracurricular activities have been limited. We have also had challenges with commitment from volunteers because they have their careers and their families. So sometimes we find that they are not able to attend to the girls as much as they would like to. And then family convictions on the part of the girls and cultures. So sometimes we might mentor the girls into the direction where they can move forward, but their cultures can restrict them. So even the follow-up when the girl goes back home, sometimes that's a challenge because they may not be able to afford a mobile phone. So we have to rely on the parents who most of the time would be out working. And then we also have social challenges that the girls face, like peer pressure. So some of the tips that we have come up with as an association. First of all, we realize that if you just start mobilizing your class groups, it works better because there is a familiarity that is associated with your class group because people already know who you are. There was an issue at the beginning where we were, there was a call out for the alumni, but then because some people did not know who were making the call, there was, you're not sure if you should join, and then if there's any policies. So we found that if we start at the grassroots of class groups and then create class group leaders who are able to now go out and speak on behalf of the association, and then that was it, we were able to mobilize the alumni. And then we also found that we ensure that there are signed commitment documents from volunteers. So with these signed commitment documents, we ensure that we give a certain amount of time for contact, for mentoring. That way, throughout the year, we are able to follow up and know how far the girls have gone. Then we continually engage with the school. So even with the pandemic, we are able to do online mentoring sessions, or even just online sessions that we are able to engage with the girls. And the school has really helped us in facilitating this. We also seek funding for a full-time secretariat, because that means that when the volunteers are busy at their own jobs, the association still continues running. And then ensure that there are regular engagement with members and networks involved in your program. So if somebody has been able to financially contribute in the past but are not able to give their time, we ensure that we keep them engaged and we inform them of the feedback of, how their funds are being used and how their funds are assisting the girls. We also empower parents and guardians so as to maximize on the take home for their child, so that beyond school, when they go home, everything that we've taught them or everything that we've guided them in is followed up even at home and beyond. So thank you so much for listening to me. I've provided all our details there. So you can reach me on our email address, info@panganigirlsalumni.org. We have Facebook, we have social media handles, and we also have our website, which is panganigirlsalumni.org. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you so much, Sheila, for that really detailed, sharing. I've learned so much from you, especially the tips on basically how you mobilize alumni in class groups or cohorts, sort of, from the grassroots, and then build it up to a big alumni association that then has an impact on the schools. I also got your point about getting volunteers to sign a commitment, which makes them more commitment, even though they're doing a voluntary sort of commitment. The online registration and having a full-time coordinating secretariat to make sure that the activities of the alumni are well coordinated, and then having regular engagement with the alumni to make sure that they're always in touch with the alma mater. Great points there, and I think I've seen a question regarding how you connect the school and the alumni and the parents and the students so that there is no working at cross purpose. But we'll come into that. So I wish to encourage the audience to keep tweeting on hashtag World Edu Week, and also please keep asking your questions on the Q&A, and we will answer them after the last speaker. So I'm just going to introduce to you the final panelist for today, called Vedis Olima. Vedis is an experienced pharmaceutical technologist and is also a member of the Association of Alumni Communities in Kenya. He is an alumni of St. George's, Sikri in Oyugis, and he also is a champion of women and youth empowerment. He works closely with high school students to provide scholarship opportunities and mentorship programs. So I wish to request Vedis to come and share with us his insights before we then open this into the Q&A session where we'll give you an opportunity to engage them more. Karibu sana, Vedis.
Hello everyone, my name is Vedis Olima. I'm a pharmaceutical technologist. I'm a mentor and a champion for youth and women empowerment. Today I'm going to talk about alumni as agents of community building, partnership, and collaboration. What is partnership? Partnership, as we know, it's a noun, and Merriam-Webster defines it as state of being a partner or participation or a legal relationship existing between two or more persons contractually associated as joint principals in a business. Synonyms are like affiliations, alliances, associations, and collaborations. What about what is collaboration as a word? Collaboration is a verb and is defined as to work jointly with others or together, especially in an intellectual endeavor, to cooperate with or really assist an enemy of one's country and especially an occupied force, to cooperate with an agency or instrumentality with which one is not immediately connected. Synonyms are band together and also concert or to cooperate. What does this mean as a community? With what do we hope to gain by partnering and collaborating with our various stakeholders and ensuring that we get results out of the relationships we form? Now, there's an old African proverb that says that it takes a whole village to raise a child. Figuratively, when we band together, we can make a whole lot of difference rather than when we are just on our own. We cannot champion for our rights when we don't team up. When we work as a community, we make our schools and former schools much, much better. There are so many alumni associations that are operating and doing amazing work across the world. It would create a bigger difference if we could band up together. Through this, we could learn the route that these other successful alumni association took. We can also learn what we missed that made us not to succeed. Where exactly did the rain start beating us from? There are so many success stories that nowadays have become a reality. And if we put enough effort through partnership and collaboration, we are able to make it. We all have unique approaches to building a better community. It's usually said 2 heads are better than one. But when we come together on a common understanding, we are able to lift each other up and be the best we can ever be. Now, we should take the various stakeholders. Now, when I talk about stakeholders, I mean the people who are involved in this partnership or a collaboration. The students, the parents, the teachers, the local government officials, and successful businessmen and women, and the alma mater as a community. These people should be pulled together for us to see the benefits of alumni engagements. Now, what are the things that we can do so as to engage more as an alumni? First of all, we need to expand their vision. And how can we expand their vision? We can make them see beyond graduating, because most of our youth believe that once they graduate, they've made it already, and that's the beginning of life, and they can do anything with life afterwards. Like they can go out and drink, they can go out and be free and spend their time as much as they need out of the confines of their homes and the restrictions of their teacher. But when we make them see beyond graduating and helping them lead not just that quiet life after school, but engage them more to be able to give back to their alma mater, these are ways that will encourage them to broaden their vision. These are ways that will encourage them to bring out the best that they can ever be. they have so much talent. There are so much talent outside there and waiting to be tapped. Two, we need to reach out to these stakeholders, because in as much as they are there, they need to be engaged. In as much as a businessman is there, maybe he's willing to contribute to a certain worthy cause, but there's no that initiative that will enable them to make that move. By reaching out, I mean you go to the ground, talk to the teachers, talk to the successful groups, share ideas and bring them on board to engage them on matters that will benefit the schools, how they can come in and mentor and give support. Support cannot just be financial. Support can be through mentorship. Support can be through even providing sanitary towels for the ladies in schools, because it's usually a challenge, because you know when that time of the month comes. Support can be going and sitting down and putting yourself in the shoes of that Form 1 student who is being bullied, counseling them and talking them throughout that psychological trauma that at times they get involved in when they come into secondary schools. Number 3, once you have already made a database and we have spoken to the various stakeholders, it is good to create a community pool. A community pool, you map out the various skills that people have to offer, such that in case you need building materials, you know where to go to. In case you need books, you know where to go to. Or if somebody is willing to give building materials at a cost or a free supply, you know where to go to and how they can connect to the part of the activities taking place in the school. Now, these networks are important because when you create such networks, you create awareness of the needs of the local community to promote and foster resource sharing and collaboration. Number 4, every other individual, like I said before, is talented in a different way. And when you try to access that talent that is hidden within, you are budding, the bud that was there will shoot up, and the child will be excited to know, yes, I can do this. So through connecting with the curriculum, we get so much to know where exactly the kid is talented in. Kids nowadays get exposed to so much at an early age. We need to connect to them and understand how they think, what will excite their curiosity, find ways to engage them to work with local businesses and experts in field. This will help them correlate to what they learn in school and help them improve in their performances. Number 5, challenge the community. Create ideas that will involve the community when they come to give a hand to assist in the various activities that we schedule for them. This creates a platform where you can freely share your ideas for the future growth, and open and shared learning space will shape the way students participate in making decisions.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vedis. Thank you so much, Vedis. Indeed, it takes an entire village to educate a child. Education is a community effort, and as Vedis says, it requires a lot of partnership. It requires engaging a lot of stakeholders. Parents can't do it alone, teachers can't do it alone, and so it needs alumni to come. He has also mentioned something very important, that alumni would then be a resource that you need to create a community or a resource that then would provide you with access to the skills you need, to the material you need, be it in building your school or in mentoring your children. So this is so important in terms of just involving people. One aspect that is really emphasized on is the aspect of partnership, involving people in the community to this. So thank you so much for that presentation, our panelists. And I would now like to turn to the Q&A session. We have about 9 minutes to do this. So I want to just check on the Q&A so I can see Kirsten saying, congratulations team, thank you for sharing your expertise. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for that. And Ruth says, hello from Kenya, exciting insights by alumni. Thank you so much, Ruth, for that comment. Daniel is watching us from Nigeria, Makurdi. Thank you, Daniel, and I hope that you are enjoying this session for the insights that have been shared by the panelists. I have one question for Sheila. So Sheila, while you are speaking, you mentioned a lot of successes that you had. And you mentioned about the teachers, the parents, the apparent conflict between what you mentor and the culture of the girls. So how do you basically manage to connect as alumni with the teachers and the parents to ensure that your programs are not conflicting, but actually complementing and magnifying the effect that the school wants to achieve? Sheila, maybe some additional insight there would be useful if you could just answer that for us.
So basically, we have an understanding that we are alumni association and that the school is actually the, say, parent, they're the overall umbrella that puts us all together. So we have a lot of respect for that fact. And we have several meetings with the departments, the head of departments, and even the principal and the administration. And through that, we are able to work with each department and organize all our meetings, including even meeting parents. We do call the parents in with the head of department for sponsorship, and we just have a talk to them about our mentoring programs. We talk to them about our sponsorship programs, and we also just let them know that, we've brought in experts who have come and talked to your girls. So these girls in high school are mostly under 18. So we ensure that also we have a confidentiality form. So any mentor who comes in has to have been vetted and has to sign a confidentiality form, which has been done by a lawyer, and before we bring them in. So we reassure the parents that, what we are trying to tell the girls is from our experience, and the girls who are coming in are also vetted and we are supervised by the school. So I hope I've answered your question.
Right, thank you so much. One more question that came before we began this event. So this came from a lady called Naomi, and I'll direct it to Frederick. So Frederick, the question is about starting an alumni association. So she says that she's really excited. She's a teacher, and she'd like to have their school to have an active alumni association. She does not know where to begin and what to do. So somehow I think Sheila mentioned a bit in terms of starting from the grassroots and the class coordinators. So Frederick, could you just expound a little bit more in the short time possible, because we are almost closing, on how would such a school start to just put together an alumni, especially if they don't have access to good records and contacts? How can they start building that?
Thank you very much, Ken. On starting an alumni association within your institution, I think two things have to happen. One, you need to have at least 2 students who will act selflessly in terms of connecting with people or other students from the same institution. So for us, how we started is we were meeting up as all students of the institution and started reminiscing about how much fun we had in school and how best we can also, in our own capacities, try and help the school. So it starts with getting at least 1 or 2 students involved, being proactive, and these students will actually go around and try and find other students who are within the same institution, not necessarily within their class group, but it can be former students who graduated 10 years ago. Their insights are different from our insights who graduated or from the students who graduated like 2 years ago. But the one thing that binds us all is the fact that we got our own understanding and our own drive to try and help other students from this particular institution. So it starts with individuals. Try and get 1 or 2 students who are proactive enough to actually try and trace back the other students within their class group, but also within other graduating classes. The second thing is to align the institution, to align the school itself, to be comfortable in working with the Alumni Association. As I said, you can't bulldoze yourself as an association to the school and try and force certain things. So it has to be mainly worked through with the particular institutions. I guess those are the easiest takes that I have. But if you want to reach out, you can reach out through the Association of Alumni Communities in Kenya through our website, and we can actually try and help you build and structure the Alumni Association more. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Frederick, for that. And I will take one final question because of time, and this is from Kezia. So Kezia is saying, working with the alumni group is really challenging, and at times almas differ in priorities. How is your approach when it comes to focusing on the most important need as a team, even when others disagree? And that question is directed to Sheila by Kezia from Kenya. So Sheila, you have this opportunity to just wrap up on that. Unfortunately, we can't hear Sheila.
Thank you, Kezia, and welcome. I was actually typing, so it's good that you brought it up, Ken. So we found that we are dealing with so many personalities, groups, and backgrounds, and not everyone can agree on something that you're trying to put on the table. So what we did is that during our once a year dinners, we created what we call a feedback form. So on that feedback form, aside from mobilizing and trying to get information of the alumni so that we can do a registration, we also ask them how we can improve the alumni. And then, as I said, that we really respect what the school requests. So when we have these meetings that I talked about earlier, we go to different departments, and in each department, they've listed the things that they really need. And then from those lists, we go with them to the principal, and the principal tells us right now our priority, say for example, is that, you know, we have 400 girls who cannot afford fees, or right now our priority is that our mentoring program needs to be revamped. So basically that's how Pangani Girls Alumni look and approach this in terms of priorities.
All right, thank you so much, Sheila, and thank you everyone who has found the time to join us today. There will be a recording of this session that will be available for those that would like to share it with their schools, with their friends, and with their communities. You will be notified how to get that recording. But we are very grateful for your attendance, and we appreciate. We have learned a lot, and as I wind up, I think the main things that have really come up is 1, collaborate, form partnerships, and 2, reach out, involve the community, involve the parents and the teachers. Align your priorities with the school and identify people that can help you to start your alumni association. There has been a lot of insights shared by Frederick, Vedis, and Sheila, and I want to offer them a lot of gratitude. I also want to give a vote of thanks to our technical producers, Samuel Tuo and Calvin Ombal, who have been working in the background to make sure that this panel discussion has been broadcasted to you in the way that it is, and thank you so much for that. We have Omar and the T4 education team that has also done a lot of work in organizing this throughout the year. It's a celebration for the World Education Day, Education Week, and we are very grateful for that opportunity to showcase this with you. So thank you so much. Thank you also to Future First Kenya that has been working with Alumni Kenya to make sure that this is really possible. For the schools and that have been represented, Pangani Girls, Uhuru High School, and St. George's, we are very grateful for what you have contributed towards making this success and towards making the world a better place by educating children and involving alumni. We hope that you've learned more, and in case you wish to reach out, please follow the conversation on Twitter, on Facebook, hashtag World Edu Week, and you can also check our website details which will be provided. Thank you so much, and over to you, Samuel and Kelvin. Until we meet again, bye-bye.